No, I was reading this group chat. You want to see what it was? Yeah. Oh, you'll lose your mind.
You Coach Belichick, Tom?
No, no, a different group chat. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Kind of want to show you. Probably be in trouble.
What are your thoughts on a Super Bowl 53 matchup against the Rams?
Oh, it's a great matchup. They're a good team, solid team. They're very talented all around the board, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a busy week for sure. It's going to be a busy work week. We've already started practice today. Got a couple. We got to travel down there. We got all next week. So you got to just stick to it. You got to stay focused, and you just got to stick to the grind and keep on working.
How much fun were you having during the AFC Championship game? We haven't seen a performance from you like that in a while.
Thanks. No, it was good. Nah, but we're way over that game now. That game was cool, but there's other cool things out there. I read that quote from Marcus. Yeah, it was a good quote.
Just knowing that Brady still trusts you to be a reliable receiver, a reliable weapon, given how your season has gone throughout this year, how does that feel?
No, that feels good. I mean, we've always had that. I mean, there's always situations where, you're just not going to get the ball. There's times where the coverage is different, and Tom just always reads out his reads. And, it just happened to be that there was a couple, more reads to go than me, and it's been like that throughout the whole year, though, from practices to games, practices today. It's going to happen to be like that for the rest of the week, with all the practices, and even to the game. So he finds the open guy, and he throws it to him.
Rob, can you share with me one of your experiences that you think would be helpful as you prepare for this? You've gone through it so many times. What's something that's helpful?
I mean, it's really just to stay focused. I mean, there's so many distractions all over the place when you get down there. There's events left and right every day, every night, morning to night. And we're down there for one reason, it's to get the win. And the only thing you remember from the trip is if you won or if you lost. So you just got to stay focused and put it all in so you can go out there and we can do what we got to do.
Personally, this is your fifth time in Super Bowl. What are your thoughts about it?
I mean, it's just surreal. I mean, just being part of the organization here and just coming into what was already established and just keep on grinding, keep on helping them out, keep on helping this organization out and getting wins and just coming out, doing the best football I can do every time I step out on the field. But it's just unbelievable to be part of it and to keep the journey going.
How is this different from last year when you guys were going against Philly? Like, this is the team you joined last year. I think Amendola, Brandon Cooks. Now you're playing against Brandon Cooks. Amendola's not here. Edelman's back. So just in general, how's it different?
Yeah, I mean, every year is different. Every year is a different situation for sure. And you can't really compare teams from the year before because it's just always different. Always different guys throughout on the offense, defense. So, but overall, just a preparation, getting ready for the game, I would say would probably be about the same. You guys just stay focused, get to the practices, stay focused on the task, and that's to play the game, and that's not worrying about really anything else that's going on. So just got to go.
How tough is that to stay focused with all the distractions?
I mean, depends what your mindset is, and it's not tough at all if your mindset is to go out there and do the best do the best you can possibly do when you step out on the field, and that's just doing everything you got to do throughout the whole week, just keeping it simple. Not trying to look for other things to do, not trying to look for distractions. I mean, if your mindset's right, it's just going to be another week, just in a different city, and just got to keep preparing like that.
Right. I don't know if you saw it, but after the game Sunday, there was a video of the quarterback and there was another player, and they were just sort of smiling at the phone like they didn't say anything. And I was curious what your reaction to the video was.
What video was that?
The follow-up on that is just how much fun it is to play with.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, the guy is just so precise with everything. Just the way he is out on the field, the way he prepares, the way he goes into these games. And every single time you're going to get the best out of him, no matter what the situations are. And that's what's so great about playing with him. It makes football the best it can possibly be, because you know you got a guy that knows basically every situation, and he's going to put us in the best situations every single time he steps out on the field to put us in the chance to win every game we play.
Guys, let's take two more.
Rob, you got extra eyes on your house while you're away this time?
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot.
There's so much focus on.
Going? All right, phew.
There's so much focus on the passing game. How gratifying is it to see the running game come in like it has the past 3 or 4 games and be as effective as it is?
It's huge. I feel like it's what it's making us. I mean, you got to have that run game. You got to be able to run the ball. It opens up the play action, opens up the receivers, and it's what we've been doing. It's what we've been doing to win. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to just grind it out. Just keep on going. Just keep on going. Whatever play is called, just keep on grinding it out. Keep on fighting, and it's part of the game. And our running backs are doing an excellent job running the ball. Just the way that they're bringing it definitely helps out big time too.
You got fun blocking?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, like I say all the time, it's not cool to block the whole game. It's not cool to pass the whole game. So I like mixing it up. I like the in between, and that's how it's been. So it's all good.
All right, guys, we got Patrick here.
Oh, why did that hit me, Chuck?
All right. How you doing? Doing good.
I wanted to ask you about former teammate Akeem Talib, who's now on the other team. What do you remember about just being teammates with him?
He's a great player, man. And he's smart. You know, he knows his football. You know, he's not just out there running around. He's a very intelligent player, and you know, he's good, man.
From your time around him, I mean, obviously you're not studying him because you're going to look at their offense, but how surprised are you that he's still playing? I mean, I'm talking 2012, right?
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, he's a dog, man. Like he's gonna work hard, man. He's gonna grind it out. So I'm not surprised at all. He's playing. You know, he's a baller. You know, so not surprising at all.
What's the challenge of when the Rams come out and they have some of those splits where the receivers are pretty tight to the formation? Phil talked about it a little bit this morning. But for defensive back, what makes that difficult?
It's not really difficult. It's just a lot of things they can do out of it, you know. So it's just, you know, reading your keys and just making sure that, you know, in the right alignment, you know, wherever your alignment is on that play, and really just doing your job, because a lot of things they can do, you know, crossers, verticals, everything. So, you know, just, you know, making sure you're in the right spot and doing your job, and everything should be fine.
I think good at disguising what they're doing, like not tipping which way they're going to go, whether it's crosses or anything like that.
Yeah, they're good. They're good at disguising all that stuff. You know, that's why, I mean, they're a good team. You know, that's why they're in this game. So, you know, we got to buckle down, and we have another, you know, week, couple of days to, you know, get some things going, and, you know, we got some time.
Earlier today, Coach said that they do a lot of different stuff, they're capable of doing a lot of different stuff out of one formation. Why are they so good at doing that?
It's a lot of the same guys that are in there. I mean, those guys have been playing with each other the whole season, you know. So, I mean, they're definitely working with each other, and they know how to hide tendencies and know how to, you know, do their thing. I mean, if you're working with someone for so many, you know, games, so long a period of time, you're eventually going to start to, you know, mesh and be able to gel, you know. So, and they've definitely gelled, you know. So they're a very good, explosive team.
Patrick, Coach mentioned earlier today that he's really impressed with the leadership you've become, the leader you've become on his team, and also your love of football. Where did you get to feel comfortable, I guess, being such a leader, and also your love of the team?
I mean, appreciate the comment, and I'm just playing ball, man. I mean, I'm more of a just play ball, do my thing, and, you know, show you how the ropes are than, you know, talking and, you know, doing all that stuff. So, you know, what I've been coached my whole career was just, if you work hard, people are going to follow, you know. So that's all I've been doing, you know, just doing my job, and, you know, whatever they ask me, I go do it, you know, put pressure on some guys to work harder, and, you know, just kind of doing it that way.
Patrick, being over 30, do you treasure these moments more? You never know, you know, the NFL, players always say stands for not for long. Does it make you just appreciate it more, these Super Bowls, as a veteran than maybe you
I'll
want to
be
be
old, bro. It's a dirty 30, really. No, I appreciate it, man. I mean, it's a lot of players that's never got to this game or even been to a playoff game, you know. So, I mean, it's definitely a blessing, you know, because I am 30. Thanks for reminding me. 31, by the way. You know, so you're gonna want to cherish these moments, you know, because you know, might not come again.
What did you learn from the experience last year, the loss of the Eagles, that you guys will maybe do something different this year and not have that happen?
I mean, last year's last year, man. I mean, it is what it is. We played 20-something games, you know, just we didn't like that feeling, so hopefully don't get that feeling again. So we're gonna, you know, play and, you know, see what it comes down to. We're gonna have to play 60 minutes because they're gonna play 60.
Patrick, I was thinking about all of that Gronkowski just has accomplished in his career, and then thinking about how you obviously practicing with him for a lot of that time.
Mm-hmm.
From your view, just what has he, you know, I guess meant to the game, or what is your view of his accomplishment?
I mean, you gotta see what he's meant to the game. I don't gotta tell you that, but to me, I mean, he's made me the player I am. I get to go against him every day for the last, you know, 8, 9 years. You know, so he's definitely made me better. Period. You know, so you know, I actually need to thank him. You know, that's so from personally, that's, you know, how I feel about him. You know, so and we've been grinding it out. There's days we don't want to grind it out, and we're gonna grind it out. You know, so you know, much love to him. Thank you.
And as someone that's faced a lot of tight ends, just how would you say he's maybe transcended that position?
He's a man. You know, I mean, we all have to play good. You can't just go out there and be the man, but we all have to play good. But I mean, Gronk is Gronk, you know. So hopefully he can do that, and we'll be good.
Say 2 more.
What's the bond between you and your teammates like? We saw a lot of guys telling each other they loved each other after the KC win, a lot of emotional responses after that game.
Yeah, I mean, I love my teammates. I tell them all the time, we're family. You know, I tell them you play like a family, you win like a family, you lose like a family. You know, so I say it all the time, and you know, if they ever need anything, I got them, and they all know that. You know, I don't have to come up here and say that. Like they know that. You know, so you know, I've developed a lot of friendships and, you know, brothers through this process. So it's definitely some love here.
How does that translate to what you guys are able to do on the field?
You're playing for your family. You know, someone takes a cheap shot at somebody. You know, we don't take cheap shots, but you remember it. You know, so it's like someone, you know, trying to get your brother. You know, so if you got a brother or a sister, I hope you go fight for them. If not, then you guys suck. But it is what it is. All right, see you guys.
Because he knew
I'm doing great.
Keith Talib is a former teammate who's now playing obviously for the other team. What do you remember about just being teammates with him?
Oh, I mean, he taught me a lot. You know, I think he was a veteran guy coming in, feisty, very scrappy guy. But I mean, we still remain good friends to this day. But you know, I think, you know, that's a fun part of playing in the league for a while. You get former teammates, you get friends, you get to compete against. So he's one guy that I know he'll be playing his best football on the other side of the field. So, you know, you see it even in their team how much better they played on defense with him. He's a leader. You know, I think he really gets guys to follow him when he goes out there and plays. And I thought he brought a great edge, you know, to our team when he came, you know, for the 2 years he was here.
One question I've asked Pat, just from, he goes up against a lot of tight ends. At times, I think you do as well. Let's ask him about Gronk, just from having practiced against him. Like, how have you noticed that he's transcended that position?
Oh, I mean, the guy's so hard to cover. You know, I think a lot of people think of tight ends so tough in the red area and making plays, but you watch him, like you said, you know, down the field, crossing routes, you know, catching the ball for 5 yards, breaking 2 tackles. I think just the way you look at his off the field of grinding through injuries and like that's how he plays. I think it showed up Sunday when we needed him the most, making big catches, making big plays. I think for me it's just cool. Every time I'm asked about him, we came in the same year, and to just watch both of us kind of grow, in this organization and become leaders, both be captains at times. I think you get to kind of be right next to a guy and see him grow. And then obviously for me to watch, what he's been able to do, best tight end in football for years, that's not easy to do.
On a teammate level, what does it take to get here? The trust, the accountability. What does it take to kind of guys to push everybody forward, just push the distractions aside and get there?
I think it's just what you said, trust. I think people will always talk about X's and O's and, where you rank here or there. But people, like, no one knows except for us, what we go through in the locker room, what guys go through personally when you come in here, and you kind of put all that aside and you got to lean on each other. And I think both teams are probably, I'm sure they have very similar stories to what we have in this locker room, because to make it through, 16 games in a regular season and then through the playoffs, you have to have a tight-knit group. You have to be close. You have to go out there when the game's hard and it's not going your way at times, and to keep fighting. That's doing it for each other. So I think any team you watch to get to this point, and this team is definitely like that. You'll hear it multiple times, whether it's someone talking to the position group or Slate breaking it down after the game, talking about each guy's character, talking about the bonds that we build, talking about being there for each other to help you develop as a father, a husband. Like, it's so much more than when we just sit in meetings and go to practice. And that's why I love the whole journey and process of going to the Super Bowl, because it's a week together one last time, kind of, for a team that you feel is special, that you kind of want to take advantage of. So that kind of started today. So I should say more than a week, but started today with putting everything in and having fun with this process. Like, I know it sounds crazy because we always say you don't know if it'll happen again, and we've been 3 straight years, but you really don't, and it won't happen again with this team.
You're the first team in 25 years to make it back to the Super Bowl after losing the previous season. So what did you learn from last year's experience, and not to make sure that doesn't replicate?
Well, first I would say, did the last team win the next time they went back?
They did not.
So we shouldn't even bring this one up.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I think each time's different. Like I said, each team's different. I think guys with experience, you try to help guys with the logistics part and the different things of studying, throughout a long period of time. Usually we don't have that many days to study an opponent. So you try to prep, all of those things. But it's tough. I don't think you can take much from last year other than the experience of dealing with the things that don't actually involve the game at times. I think those are probably the hardest things to deal with, whether, as much as we love our families, but dealing with our families when they get in on Thursday and budgeting your time the right way. Like, to me, those are the biggest things that you can bring over each time you play in this game. And then at the end of the day, you try to focus on being ready to play in the game Sunday, because like Bill keeps telling us and says every year, what you'll remember the most is the outcome of the game.
How excited are you for your brother? This is his first year with the Patriots, his first time going to the Super Bowl.
I'm excited. I think he's been a great guy just to see, as far as excitement and, being ready to go. And, but when it's time to lock in, he's locked in. I think that the guy you guys see running in the locker room, yelling and screaming after the game Sunday and after, a lot of our wins this year, when we come in here and we get ready to work, he's not focused on that. He's showing leadership of being ready to go, playing multiple positions, and we count on him to do that. So, along with him, Danny Shelton, those guys went from not winning a game last year to now playing in the Super Bowl. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, I'm sure they never dreamed that really or guessed that would happen this year. So, I think those two guys are prime examples of the work we put in for teammates next to us. Like, we have guys in here that have won Super Bowls, won multiple Super Bowls. But this game's important because you got guys next to you that, they went 0-16 last year. You know how special this is for them to be in this type of environment.
How beneficial is it for you to have played with Cooks all last year, going up against them in training camp and practices for all that time, and now to be able to see him a year later? Is there a good carryover there?
You know him a little bit personnel-wise, but you still got to dive into the film, see how they're using them, like how we use them isn't necessarily the same on how he plays on the Rams. So it definitely helps when you've played against a guy multiple times. The same thing when you play against a guy that's like in your division for years. You know him personally as far as, how they run routes and, what they might not like, different things like that. But you still got to go and compete against him and try to make it tough. So, and we know kind of what Cooks brings. He's a fast guy. Whether that's catching passes going horizontally and getting vertical, or he's getting vertical down the field, he's a guy that we kind of got to know where he's at. I mean, we had to do that in practice a lot too when he first got here, of knowing where he's at and recognizing his speed and what he can do.
Their offense.
Although there was 2 weeks between your last game and the next game, with all the potential distractions and the unfamiliarity with the Rams, last time you played them, were virtually a different team in large part. How difficult is it, how challenging is it to get familiarity with the Rams, the personnel in this week with everything that's
I think you try to, that's why I say experience really helps. Like being done with everything logistically, I guess that was Tuesday, and coming in here Wednesday and like, all right, we're on the Rams, and scouting report, watching film. Very fortunate, since the playoffs started, like I go home and my wife's like, do what you got to do. Like throughout the playoffs, she was like, I want to go to Super Bowl, so do what you got to do. I got the kids, study film, and it's the same way now. Like if she ever is on me, I'm like, you want to win the Super Bowl or not? So that definitely helps at home with her stepping up and taking even more of a lead that she already has. And that's what we just try to encourage and tell guys, like, for one, get as much studying and work done while we're here, your normal kind of routine, going home, because it gets even harder once we get there and you're in a hotel now. You're trying to balance watching film, media and all of that stuff. So we try to get a lot of work done here and then just keep sharpening it as the game gets closer and closer.
2 more questions?
You personally will be in your 5th Super Bowl. How can you describe the journey?
The journey?
The journey playing your 5th Super Bowl.
It's been awesome. I can't ask for a better career to be able to play in 5 Super Bowls. Guys that are Hall of Famers, that are, top 5 players at their position ever, don't get that opportunity. So I'm blessed, I think to be drafted here by the Patriots, to play with some, amazing players, and then have a coaching staff like we have here that works, I think, as hard as any coaching staff in all of football. I think it shows up and gives us an opportunity. But, I mean, we're blessed. We have a lot of guys in that locker room that have played in 5+ Super Bowls or 4. We got guys that came here 3 years ago and been in 3 straight Super Bowls. And the truth is, individually, it's not really because of any of us. It's been a group effort, and it's been a lot of guys and a lot of different people in this organization putting in, hard work for us to get there.
Devin's
going to ask you about their offense when it comes to using those fast motions right before the snap, or jet motion, whatever you call it. I know they're not the only team that does it, but it seems like they do it a lot.
Yeah,
What's the challenge in terms of being able to...
I think the one good thing is we've seen that a lot this year. I would say like RPOs last year was like the biggest thing in football, and I would say the missile motion is now like each team, like you said, each team runs some type of missile motion. The Rams, I think, make it tough because they do it. It could be Cooks, it could be Woods, it could be anybody that they have over there that they run it with. So that kind of makes it tough. It comes from, both sides, to the tight end, away from the tight end. But I think the experience of seeing it and kind of understanding the challenges, we know, but a lot of times it's just gang tackling. Like when they give it, it's, guys running inside out and trying to get the guy down. And then it's guys understanding if you don't have that, you need to play your responsibility that you have on the play, whether that's a gap, whether that's a man. It's one of those, kind of smoke and mirrors things that if your eyes go straight to that and you chase that, teams are really good at running toss action off it, downhill runs off it. So you really have to do your job on that. It's misdirection. And whenever you get misdirection from an offense, guys have to do their job.
Thanks, Devin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Devin.